Hey guys, Adam from Quick to Endure. This will be part 2 for our new knife test series, just to go over a recap real quick of what we have. Got our Cold Steel Bushman from K-Bar Johnson Adventure Blade series, the SOG Aura Camp Knife, the Scharde SCHF9 Extreme Survival Knife, and our custom from KSR Knives, our buddy Steve Randall, our custom chopper. So before we get started, we're gonna throw some lanyards on these blades. It's got a piece of 550 cord. Let's get a nice length. Here's a quick thing how I cut a lanyard. I use my body length. Just come in here where your hand would close up like this with your finger and your index finger, and just pull it to get about 3-4 inches extra. So we're going to do 2. And adjust it as need be. Okay guys, so this is what I'm guessing right now. This will probably, we're going to start off with the chop test. I got my 2x4 right here, and we're going to see which one. I really got the piggyback coming in top of the line on this one, just because of the weight and the shape of the blade. And of course the Bushmaster kind of coming, you know, low end of this because it's just the smallest, thinnest, lightest blade here. So we're going to go ahead and get started. We're going to glove up real quick in our 30 good wax. Not bad. Thinner blade had a lot of mechanical advantage to get in there. Very smooth, sharp cuts. I gotta tell you though, the gloves might have been a bad idea for a really secure hold. I really felt like this was slipping and sliding in my hand. I definitely had to throw a 550 cord wrap on this. There is a small hole here, and of course since it's hollow, we'll be able to do that. So that might be one thing that we'll do after the test. This is one that we bought and we're actually giving it away for a contest for our E2E website subscribers. So, but not bad for the most part. The cut's a little angled down that way. Next will be the Aura Camp Knife from SOG. A little bit better to control. I actually didn't penetrate as deep with that, but might just be getting used to this handle. It felt pretty good in my hands, not bad at all for something this small and thin. Next will be the Scharde. There's a big old knot right there, so we're going to go right here. A lot deeper. That last cut was kind of a waste, but got in there pretty good, man. Nice stuff with the Scharde. All right, guys. Next we have our KSR from my buddy Steve Randall. Very nice. A lot cleaner cutting, but not as deep as the Scharde. Like again, the lacquered my card was a little bit more difficult to hold on to. Still did pretty well. Okay, time for the big heavy. Now one thing, sweet spot should be about right there with that knife. Grab it way back. We'll see how we do. Shoo! Wow. I bet if I didn't miss right and hit right here, I bet I can almost got through there. I'm about an inch from the end of the board. Bad, bad, bad. Actually, this one is actually, hold on. That's actually just sitting in there. I didn't chop that part out. I was just sitting on top. Awesome. So we got the Bushman right here. Here's the SOG, not bad. The Scharde did very, very well. The KRS blade, not as well, but you know, still cut pretty clean. And then the, I gotta show you this side. That's the Potbelly. Phew, knocked that one out. Good stuff. All right, so we got our Captain Caveman baton. We're gonna start doing some batoning. We'll start, I'm actually worried about this one, but we'll start off something a really thin piece. See how we do. We have to move back here on our anvil. Hope you guys can still see this one. Nice. Bushman did pretty good. No bends. Well, it was bending in there. You guys can see that knot in the curvature of the wood. So it popped right off. So not bad. I'm actually rather impressed by that. See how the SOG does. This might have been too much of a job for this little guy. Yeah, that was a tough piece on that one. Let's break this up in a little bit smaller pieces. The Scharde should be able to take that. Hey guys, alright, so we're back. So the Cold Steel Bushman, you know, was the thinnest of the blades. The real issue I had was actually getting a hold of it. The aluminum handle is just so slippery, especially when you have any gloves on, so something this would be very difficult, I think, to use in wintertime with gloves. It's just, there's no texture at all, and it's it's very round. So that was my big issue with it. I was actually striking, and when I'd strike, instead of the blade biting into the material, it would shift in my hand. I wouldn't introduce a cut to the work that I was working. Other thing is, I think it could really use a finger choil up before the edge starts. But all in all, I mean, this thing is really designed to be a spear. I mean, it's, that's this design, that's what Cold Steel was behind designing it. As for a survival knife or something like that, for 20 bucks it's not bad. The sheath, I think, is atrocious though. And I'm a fan of Cold Steel. They make some really great stuff that I've really enjoyed. It has some really great folders, some really great fixed blade knives. The sheath is just this very strange friction hold sheath. It's got a decent sized pocket. Hangs on the belt pretty well. But this thing might do a lot better as a spear. I just think it's, got a lot of guys who have suggested this to me, and I think, for a $20 knife, it's not bad. I think if you doctor up the handle, throw some 550 cord on there, we might even just do a video about that, just experimenting with it. It's not bad. I mean, Cold Steel has a good rep, and it's an interesting piece, and for 20 bucks, I really think you can't go wrong. For the type of work that we were doing, I was actually kind of leery at a baton with it, but it actually did very well. Had a good bend, popped back very straight. So the construction, the materials, in regards to its performance, did well. I just don't like the design around the handle. But then again, as I said before, it's not really designed as a all-in-all survival knife, but not bad nonetheless. I gotta say, I'm impressed with this SOG Aura. I think it has a unique design, held up pretty well. We got it nice and dirty, some damage. We'll be giving this one away to one of our lucky subscribers. The hollow grind was pretty sharp. I was out there doing some pretty decent work on some pretty hard cherries, so that was kind of going above and beyond its capabilities. I do like the design of the sharpening rod in the handle. It's pretty interesting. It did have a lanyard hole here. I just put this on here because I'm always scared about losing that kind of stuff. So all in all, it's probably not a good idea to use your lanyard hole on this little ring. But, hey, why not? Maybe you can double feed it through the lanyard. The only big complaint I have about this is the jimping. Jimping's just aggressive. And the finger choil, I think, is a little to get used to. But, it'd probably be a decent skinner. It'd be a great camp knife, for kitchen prep and everything else. And you can still use it for whatever else. So a lot of guys have kind of hit on it because they think it looks like a kitchen knife. And I think that it would do very well in the camp kitchen. So good stuff altogether. The sheath isn't bad. It's kind of, SOG's normal nylon, kind of no frills sheath. It's better than the leather one that the Northwest Ranger came with. Simple Velcro retention strap, belt loop, nothing else. It's got a lanyard hold here if you want to hang a little lower and secure it to your leg. All in all, not bad. For the $53 MSRP, and you can get one for like 35 bucks. I think it's awesome. This is one of the knives I think I'll throw in my camp box. When I'm going car camping, throw it in the cooking box and let them have with it. And if somebody doesn't have a knife, they can use that one. So did pretty good. I think we'll probably do a little bit more carving with this one before we do our final review. But all in all, very, very good. Pretty impressed by it is still, you guys probably can't hear that, but it is still razor sharp. And you guys got to forgive me for the audio. Our mic batteries died, and I wanted to get this done while I still could. While it's not as polished and pretty as it was before, still very straight. I mean, still straight, no vary about it. The edge retention is amazing. I mean, it is a convex edge, full flat grind. So good stuff. We're gonna get ready to pass this around in our. We're getting ready to hand this one out for our pass around. The ergonomics with the micarta, I could use a little bit more of a swell right here to get a better grip. The lacquered micarta, I'm not always a fan of it because, I mean, it's very pretty, but I want something that I can get a little bit more grip. But, Steve Randall does do custom, so you can put Coca-Cola on this or anything else that you want with the micarta. This is just one that he sent us for a demo. Very nice piece, still very happy. This is just like a fast chopper. The price point, I think something like this, I believe, I have to check my notes, goes around the 180 mark. So you're gonna pay a little bit more for a custom piece, but very nice. And Steve's the kind of guy, he wants us to beat the snot out of this and then send it back to him so he can learn from it, which is very, very cool. It does have a custom sheath, very attractive piece. He makes these himself as well. Just simple belt loop, fold over design. So it's actually fit pretty well. It's got pretty good friction retention. The Scharde, actually, I'm very impressed by. The only, it did very well with the batoning. The only big complaint I had about it is it was very hard on the hands. But it's not a big deal for whatever reason. Just maybe it was the way I was just beating the crap out of it. It did well. Feels like the edge still feels very sharp. I don't see any wear and tear. The recurve is actually very nice. The finger choil is nice. This is in the grip. I mean, the handle is actually, it feels awesome. I mean, it's thick, but it really feels good in my hands. You gotta land your hold. I've never been a big fan of like the finger curvatures. I think it just gives too many hot spots when you're chopping. But I didn't really notice it with this one. You know, the wideness of the handle, I think, overcame that one. I like the finger choil, and it's still straight. We don't have any issues with it. And for a knife that you can get for, you know, around the $45 mark, that's a heck of a deal. So, William, thank you. Appreciate this. And I'm a jerk. I didn't get him anything for Christmas. So, as for the sheath, kind of simple design. There's Velcro in the retention, so you can adjust the retention on it. I threw a little Zombie Hunter morale patch on there to show that it's got Velcro right there. It's got one of these Velcro Molly type straps, so you can put a loop through here if you want to do like a drop leg platform with the knife. There's also a D-ring and a snap, and then of course you have the belt loop system, so you can actually put this on and off your belt without taking it off. So all in all, pretty good. I mean, kind of low budget survival knife, and you know, some people swear by these. Some people love these knives, and I can see why. Very, very good price point. I gotta admit, you know, I think my favorite one from the series, just because it was fun as hell to use, and it was bad knife. You guys probably couldn't hear me ranting or raving about it when I was batoning and carving with it. Is this jab from Johnson Avenger Blades and K-Bar? I gotta say, man, the 1/4 inch half hollow grind in this is awesome. It is, you know, it's kind of got a clip point, and it's a very unique shape and design. The I guess this is Grivery scales feel very nice. I guess if you guys can see that texture right there, feels pretty good. Like I said before, I've never been a real fan of this kind of stuff, but this actually lets you get a couple different holds on this knife for a couple different tasks, and you feel secure in every one of them. You know, the hollow grind, I think, is kind of coming back here recently. You know, it was kind of all the rage a few years ago, and I haven't seen anybody do a hollow grind in a 1/4 inch for a while. And I gotta say, this is a nice knife. The sheath is pretty interesting as well. So you have 2 retention clips. I'm just gonna slide it back in here. This is like a slipper style sheath. So you got a huge pocket right here. They actually throw some adventure cord in there. They call it adventure cord. It's just yellow 550 cord. There's also a secret little knife right here. Little skeletonized knife. The only problem with the skeletonized knife in the sheath, I don't think you could 550 cord wrap it and still get it in the sheath. So that's the only flaw I see in the design of the sheath. But the fact that you get a little skinner like this is awesome. Oh, and the other thing is it's kind of hard to get in there when the knife's in there. Oh, there it is. The reason being, though, is when you secure it in here in the sheath, the snap actually goes through one of the skeletonized sections of the handle. So I guess, you know, friction hold would be good enough. But that's the only thing that, you know, I like to 550 cord wrap my knives like that. And in the back of it, you know, simple belt loop. But then you have these straps, kind of like Pal's webbing. You got 2 sets of 3 here and then a set of 2 that you can molly this onto something. So very interesting. You know, I like the design. I kind of like the look that they were going for. Very, very heavy duty sheath. Awesome sheath by K-Bar, I gotta say, for a nylon sheath. Good stuff. Now this one's probably the most expensive one next to the custom job. Retails for about $127, but you can find them for about $85. You know how knives are online. So very good. This was actually probably my favorite of the series. I did like using the custom job, and the Scharde really surprised me as well. So all of them really good. Enjoyed them all. Good stuff. Hey guys, this is Adam from Equipped on Door. If you guys have any questions or comments, please email me at adam@equippedondoor.com. You guys take care, be safe out there, and remember, if you're not always prepared, you're never prepared. Thanks.